Hi, my name is April Bose, and welcome to the Healthy Starts in Early Childhood and CACFP presentation for Internship and Leadership Advocacy and Policy in Early Childhood Education. I'm with the University of North Carolina at Wilmington, and it's July 2017. Just to tell you a little bit about me, this is my third year as an administrator for early childhood. I work at a center. A small center, and I am the assistant director there now. I just moved to this center, and I was an assistant director at the last center that I worked at for 2 years as well. Before that, I worked in the school system for 8 years. I worked for Early Head Start, which was part of the city school system from where I'm from. And while I was there, I got really interested in the farm to school program. I really wanted to dig deeper into where the food came from and how to teach children about where food comes from. So I wrote a lot of grants and began school gardens there, and then I became really interested in the menus that were there. And everyone always asks me, why do you want to do this? Why are you so interested in what kids are eating? And, I started all this before I had kids. And now that I have kids, it's really important to me that they grow up knowing where their food comes from and knowing how to make healthy choices. I feel like I did not grow up making healthy choices, that my parents maybe palate, they just didn't know. And now that we know so much about nutrition, I want to be able to pass that on to my own children. So I think it's very important for me personally, and I think it's important for every kid, and we deserve to show them how to eat nutritiously. So first, I want to talk to you a little bit about CACFP in the last 30 years. So this program, which most centers do have, gives you a reimbursement for the food that you serve at the center. So each child will qualify on different levels, and each level will give you a certain amount of money back at the end of the year, or at every month, to help you pay for the food that you serve. This program right now is currently serving over 4 million children. It has been credited with contributing to the overall health and wellness of children. At first, it helped with essential nutrients, and now they want to focus on chronic diseases. So basically, what that means is that at first, whenever they were looking at why we should feed these young children, it's because doctors and were noticing that children weren't getting the nutrition that they need. They weren't getting the essential nutrients that they needed at home. So they made it their plan to feed them the essential nutrients. And now we're seeing that more and more children are having heart disease and diabetes. And those are the chronic diseases that now the CACFP is starting to address. And since it was created in 1968, there have been no major changes to meal patterns at all since April 2016. So this is a big deal that they've really started to take a good look at it. So there is a shift in the need. We were just talking about it, but many diets now are high in sugars, saturated fats, sodium. 75% of adult diets are low in vegetables, fruits, and dairy. And here, interesting fact, fewer than 10% of 4 to 8-year-olds are eating enough vegetables, which I guess you could already guess that 1 in 3 children are obese or overweight. So these are what the USDA is saying are our main concerns now. It's not okay that they're not eating enough vegetables. It's not okay that 1 in 3 children are dealing with obesity or being overweight. So the purpose of this update is to align the CACFP with these new dietary guidelines. They want to enhance the nutritional quality of the meals and the snacks, and they want to really help children develop long-term healthy eating habits. They really want to see these habits that they are developing in early childhood go with them all the way through the school system and all the way until they're adults, so that overall, generally, we're a healthier population. So these meal pattern changes, what is going on? What's happening now in centers? So more flexibility with the introduction of solids to infants are happening. So now we're saying, no, you don't have to be 4 months old. You can be 6 months old or older. Just whenever it's developmentally appropriate for you to introduce solids is now going to be okay. they want healthier snack options for infants 6 months and older. They want a fruit or a vegetable served at every single meal. Juice is no longer allowed. I don't know many centers who are doing juice anymore, but now they're saying no more juice. They're wanting to see more whole grain rich foods for children, at least one serving a day. They're wanting to see fruit and vegetables served at lunch for children ages 1 to 12. Before you could do 2 fruits or 2 vegetables, now they're saying a fruit and a vegetable every single meal. And this is a big one right here. And this is what started my internship in the first place. Grain-based desserts, such as graham crackers and animal crackers, are no longer allowed. So that means we're having to replace those with fruits and veggies. This is throwing centers for a loop. They don't know what to do. What are they going to serve when you take out these snacks? It's all they've known. It's all they've ever served. So it's really throwing these centers for a big loop. They're also wanting to see less sugar in breakfast cereal. So now people who have been serving, I don't know, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, things like that, they can't serve them anymore. Cheerios are still okay. They're underneath that sugar limit. But these centers that are getting the money from this food program, they have been thrown into a big loop. They don't know what to serve right now. And that's where my internship really started taking place, when I started talking to the corporate center of this one center that we met, and she was talking about menu development and what is she going to do. And that's whenever I said, I'd love to work with you. So what I did for my internship is I worked on menu development with a center. So really they had already decided that they were going to do this in a 4-step process. They were going to design a recipe. They were going to taste test the recipe with the children and the parents. Then if it went over well, they were going to implement it on the menu at this one center. Well, this center happens to have 4 centers. So if it all went well at this one center, then they were going to train the other kitchens at the other sites and they were going to implement. So what I did for my internship is I came in and I helped recipe development and I helped implement recipes. So one recipe that I got to implement was granola. Is a great way. They used to serve graham crackers all the time with yogurt or Teddy Grahams. And so now we've decided to take those out because, well, the CACFP decided to take those out. And so now we're going to replace them with granola. So this is a grain that they are getting, and it is also a dairy that they're getting at snack. And snack has to have 2 separate components. So this right here matches up with it. As you can see right here in the top corner to the right, that we gave all classrooms a chart. Loved it, liked it, maybe next time. This classroom right here was a 5-year-old classroom. They were a little weary about trying the granola. It's something new, something they have not seen in this school before. And they did great with it. They did try it. And then the second time around, when we put it on the menu and brought it back through, more and more people are eating it. So right there is showing you, we knew right then and there that your granola was going to be a hit, because more and more people are trying it each time it comes on the menu. You can see Miss Sue, the kitchen staff there, cooking the granola, and then the 2-year-olds over here enjoying it. The 2-year-olds really liked it. Every single one of them wanted to put it on their yogurt. Also, they tried hummus. They had a parent taste test, and we gave out little cups of hummus and crackers and stuff to take home as they were on their way out the door. And that way the parents could really see what was going on at the center and see the changes that were starting to happen. So moving forward, since my internship is over now, and now that the center has to move on, they're going to continue to develop these kid-friendly and healthy recipes that are CACFP compliant. They're going to keep pushing through with that 4-step process and making sure that it's going to work for them. They're going to begin implementing some frozen vegetables. That's a big step for a center. Most centers are opening up cans and really getting that extra salt in there and the sodium, and it doesn't need to be there. Frozen vegetables are much healthier for you. They also are working towards fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. There's some kitchen obstacles to overcome, such as a sink that for just fresh vegetables and fruits that needs to be installed. And they're also working to reduce the amount of processed foods that are there. The less processed foods you have, the more cooking you're doing. The more cooking you're doing, the more equipment you need. And so that is something definitely, I think, that going into this, that this center wasn't aware of, but that we found to be something that we needed to take a look at all of the centers.